In a forgotten corner of a small suburban neighborhood, two childhood friends once made a promise beneath the rustling leaves of an old oak tree. Max O'Connor and Eli O'Connor, inseparable, vowed to remain friends forever, no matter where life would take them. The world seemed boundless, filled with dreams of adventures and endless laughter. But life doesn't keep promises. It changes, drifts, and often forgets. But childhood is fleeting. Max O'Connor's family was moving to the city, far from the small neighborhood they called home. A promise, no matter how strong, was a fragile thing in the face of distance and time. Their goodbyes were rushed, incomplete, like a book missing its last chapter. Time moved forward, as it always does. What began as letters and postcards became silence. Life swept them into its currents, carrying them further away from the shore of their shared memories. Max O'Connor chased dreams of independence in the city, while Eli O'Connor stayed behind, building a quiet life of her own. The bond they once cherished faded into a distant, bittersweet ache. Fate works in quiet ways. Years later, in a bustling coffee shop in the city, two strangers would cross paths. Their faces were older, their lives distant, but their eyes told a story they'd almost forgotten. There are no words for the weight of time, for the years that carve spaces between people. When Max O'Connor and Eli O'Connor sat across from each other, the silence spoke louder than any greeting could. Their lives, once so intertwined, now felt like parallel lines stretching into distant horizons. The memories came slowly, like old photographs pulled from dusty boxes. Moments of laughter and shared dreams surfaced between hesitant words, but each story felt distant, as if they were borrowing from someone else's life. The realization was sobering. They had become strangers to each other, bound only by what once was. They decided to revisit the one place where they felt whole, the old oak tree. It was the last thread tying them together, a fragile connection to the promise they made so many years ago. But what they found there wasn't what they expected. The truth, like the treehouse, was unavoidable. They had both changed, grown in directions neither could have anticipated. The drift between them was undeniable, but perhaps acknowledging it was the first step toward healing. The drift didn't vanish, and the past couldn't be reclaimed. But in the ruins of their childhood, Max O'Connor and Eli O'Connor found something new. A fragile, tentative connection, built not on what was, but on what could still be.